Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified Doctor of Naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
All right, everybody, back with a brand new Cabral Concept, a brand new week. This is our Motivation and Mindset Monday. Excited, as always, to get into a new week of shows. Today, I want to go over with you, though, a very famous saying. It's one of my most famous quotes in the entire world. I'd love to teach it inside of IHP Mastery. I love sharing it with clients because, in my opinion, it takes away a lot of the overwhelm. You don't always have to future cast, look way into the future as to, I don't know what the future is going to be like. I don't know if I'm ever going to achieve my goals. I'm worried if I set my goals too big or too small. It's like all of the things that sometimes a lot of goal achievers worry about. All of that can be put aside. It really can, with one amazing quote. So I want to read that quote to you right now, why it means so much to me, and how I use it in my practice to help people as well. So this is by F.M. Alexander, all right? So I first learned about Alexander. It's Matthias Alexander, F. Matthias Alexander, which stands for Frederick. When I was in personal training, believe it or not, this was a technique that was used to build confidence through posture with dancers, with clients, with public speakers, etc. So just a quick background on who this individual was. They were Australian born, and I believe they lived in the early 1900s. But here's the quote, which again, it is a game changer, always has been a game changer for me, and it's really reduced any anxiety I have because I no longer worry about or think way into the future. Here's why. The quote is, people do not decide their futures, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. I want to read that one more time and then let's break it down. People do not decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. I love that. And I love it for a bunch of different reasons. And it's this. One, it uncomplicates things. If you're looking to gain weight or lose weight, if you're looking to get healthy, if you're looking to improve your relationships, if you're looking to improve your spirituality, if you're looking to advance in your career, all of those things are possible. You know that they're possible. You know that there's plans out there. You know that there's people like you that have also achieved those things. Okay, so now that demystifies, is it possible, right? As we kind of move through those SMART goals, right? Specific, like, is it measurable? Is it attainable? All these things. Yes, you know it is because you know other people have achieved that. And I'll link up one of the SMART goal setting podcasts for you if you want to head on over to stephencabral.com/2824. If you've never heard about SMART goal setting, we'll break it down for you. Now, literally, SMART's an acronym: specific, attainable, or specific, measurable, attainable. I'll take you through the whole thing. But here's the thing. We know that any goal you set for yourself is attainable. So then really the issue then becomes, well, what's the timeline then to achieving that? And the timeline to achieving that becomes a not if you will achieve it, because you will, it's how long will it take then? And how long will it take really depends on your current day activities and actions that you take. And those actions become your everyday habits. And if not your every once in a while habits, because every once in a while habits may or may not lead to your goals, but everyday habits, if you pick up something that would lead you closer to your goals, let's just call it, you want to become a health coach. Okay. So let's make this really easy. What would you need to do to become a health coach? And this could be a real estate agent. It could be anything, right? Okay. You know that you need to most likely get a certification. So you're going to choose the association, organization that you want to get a certification through. Let's say the certification is 3 months or 6 months. Okay. So you know that over the next X amount of days or months, you're going to study for the certification. And you'll just break it down from there. Like, okay, so like with Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, you need 30 minutes a day or 2.5 hours on the weekend. You can do that every single week. Great. So Monday through Friday, 30 minutes a day, wake up 30 minutes earlier, you're going to get through the material. So you're going to be able to get that certification then within the 3 months or 6 months or whatever it's going to take you. Great. Then after that, what do you need to do? Well, you'll apply for a job at another organization, or you might go off on your own. But either way, what are you going to do? You're going to send out one application, right? Or you're going to send out one a day. And if you send out one a day and you send out 30 a month, Well, what's the likelihood that you're going to get hired within the next month or two? Probably pretty high, right? Because you're in it to win it, that you're on it. Like your habits of, 30 minutes every day, I'm going to learn about my craft, health coaching. I'm going to improve. And then once you finish that, you're going to say, well, 30 minutes every day now, I'm going to use that to either build up my social media following to get your own clients, or 30 minutes to look at different ads, apply to those particular positions, reach out to companies that you know are doing health coaching, and you're going to make those connections. And you're going to do that every single day. You might even do an internship. It might even be free. I don't think there's any free internships anymore, but it might be a lower paid internship just to get experience, which then gives you the experience to then do the next thing. So what I'm trying to share with you is that the person who wanted to become a health coach, they didn't leave it up to the future. They said, one day I want to become a health coach. Well, it's an amazing goal to have, one day, right? But will that day ever come? I don't know, right? I don't know. Instead of it being up for debate and even up to guesswork, you're going to say, well, I don't decide my future way out there. I decide my habit today. Right? So today I'm going to study for 30 minutes. I'm going to watch my online course material for 30 minutes. And then you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to do the same, because every day in my calendar right now, I have from, let's say, 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., I'm going to study material before I go to my job or drop the kids off, like whatever it might be. Like that's what you're going to do. It's built in your schedule. So you might say, well, how many hours is each module? Well, each module is 3 hours. That means I need about 30 minutes, 5 days a week, in order to be able to accomplish what I need to be able to do. Great. So that's exactly what you do. Now, if you don't worry about your future, but yet you do the 30 minutes every day, will you pass the certification? The answer is yes. There's no hope. There's no questioning. There's no grandiose-based idea or worry about what might happen. It's just taking care of the 30 minutes today. That's really all that it is. And then, okay, great. You graduated, you have your certification. You know that you're an expert in this field. Are you the best ever? No, you're just starting out. That's okay. You know more than 99 out of 100 people. Like that's the truth, right? Walking down the street, would you know more about diet and exercise and stress reduction and toxin removal and rest and emotional balance and scientifically backed supplements and a success mindset, the psychology behind it, more than 99 out of 100 people? Yes, you would, right? Because you just put in couple hundred hours or whatever it was, right? So here's the thing. Now that you did that, you say, well, I'm still not a health coach. No, you're not. But now we transition. Yeah, you can still do your studying, but now you're going to do what? Now you're going to actively say, I have this international certification. I know some organizations I might like to apply to. I'm going to do that. But I'm also going to go on LinkedIn. I'm also going to see who's hiring for health coaches, virtually or in my local area. And you're going to continue to work that plan. Now, if you execute on that plan long enough and you make adjustments as needed, you're going to get a job as a health coach. So it's amazing, right? At the same time, building up your social media following. These things don't even take a lot of time, but you do need to give your goals. If your goal is important enough to you in life, you'll give it 2 30-minute time blocks a day, right? If it's important to you enough, I'll also link up another podcast today called The Missing 6 Hours Per Day. These will be at stephencabral.com/2824. Because I know that you can find a half hour upon waking and a half hour at lunch or another one, later at night. If it's important enough to you, the goal is big enough, you can make it happen. So now it's like, well, what's standing in your way? It's typically all our mindset. And I'm not saying that that's easy to overcome. Like life is all about the mind game. It really is. Most of the things that we want to achieve, not most, everything that we want to achieve, there has been a book written about it, a course created, there is a coach, a mentor, there is someone to walk you through that plan. And I've always said, when I was in my 20s, I couldn't afford any coaches or anything like that. So I get it, I understand, but I could afford books, right? So I would purchase a book. I could afford maybe an online course if I saved up for it. So there's ways to do this, right? There's ways to be able to ask these questions and get your answers. So that is the thing. It really comes down to then asking yourself, do I want it? And that's a real truth. That's a real question to ask. A lot of us set goals, and I'm not sure that we really want it. We think that if it happened, that would be nice. That is not a goal. Because it's not going to change your daily life in order to create a new habit. And that's a really big point. But when a goal has a high priority in your life, because you need to make it happen for you, your health, your family, your career, finances, whatever it is, then it takes on new meaning. And if something can take on deeper meaning, that's going to give you the onus and create the why as to why you wake up every day working on this thing. Because if it's a strong enough why can push you through all of the challenges and obstacles, that hardships that inevitably come up in your life. Not everything is a straight A through Z process. Most things in life aren't. They're wild zigzags. It's constantly being thrown off course and getting yourself back on course. And in order to get back on course, you need to have a strong enough why. So as I revisit Alexander's quote here of people do not decide their futures, it seems negative in the beginning. It really does. People don't decide their future. Well, what does that mean? Does it mean like there's no free will and that is everything just predetermined and they have no input into their own life? No, it's not. But setting a vision board and setting a goal is just the first part of the story. Here's how we actually bring this to real life. Here's how we turn that from the energy in the ether, we'll say, to actually in a 3D manifestation. We do that by people deciding their habits, and then those habits deciding their future. So what would deciding a habit be? Deciding a habit would be waking up 30 minutes earlier, going to bed 30 minutes earlier to accomplish any goal you have. Literally any goal. Want to get in better shape? Save that time for meal prep or exercise. Want to be able to improve your overall health? Use that time for meditation, stress reduction, the same meal prep, putting your supplements out, like whatever it is that you need to do. That's the 30 minutes. Want to improve your relationship? Great. Use the 30 minutes to plan again, because it doesn't have to be in the morning. It could be in the evening. That's a half hour that you dedicate to just talking with your spouse, to sitting down maybe when the kids go to bed and having an actual discussion about how you want your lives to be, planning for the future. That can be exciting. Right? And we could go on and on. Spirituality. Well, every major religion has a good book, right? And the book is what you can use in that 30 minutes a day. Or listen to spiritual-based teachings. Any of those things. But what I'm saying is that time each day, that 30 minutes is what you'll create a habit. And my recommendation is that you do basically the same format, the same thing every day. Now, going back to the health coaching certification, it's not the same exact material, but you're in the same exact course, taking the same exact certification, taking your notes, learning, and that's how you're growing. Each day adding on the next step that you need. Now, here's the most interesting part of all of this. After you've done this for about 3 weeks or so, it's a part of your life. You're almost thinking to yourself, how did I not do this before? So all you need to do in order to create a different future is to create a different habit today. And then set that at the same time every day and follow that through. You may not want to do a hard workout every day, but certainly you could do weight training one day, foam rolling in that next half hour the next day, using it for walking, using it for cardio, using it for something. Just block that time out so that it's yours to work on this goal. This is a goal achievement 30-minute block. And then as you, instead, again, you set the goal, then you put your future aside. Even all the greats said that. The greats went over and over and they said, once you put it out there, you don't need to keep saying it. But a part of that gets lost is that you need to then act as if. You need to then begin living your life as if that future is already inevitable. And that's creating your daily habits. And then the last part to Alexander's quote is this. Your habits ultimately decide your future. So what does that also mean? It means that no matter what, you are deciding your future. It's your present habits, good or bad, right, that are deciding your everyday future, which is essentially tomorrow. And when you wake up, that's the inevitable now. So what you have in your life is based on the habits of the past. If you like where you're at, good. Keep doing more of what you're doing. If you don't like where you're at, don't beat yourself up about it. It's probably all new to you. It was all new to me many years ago as well. So then once you know that if you don't love your present circumstance and there's something that you can do about it, because in most situations you can't change everything overnight. But we're talking about sometimes turning around a cruise ship, a big tanker. It takes some time, but you can do it. The other thing is this, it won't change on its own. So even if it seems like, oh, it's going to be far away, it's going to take more work, I think you'd be surprised. It will take less work once you get going, but you still need to begin today. And I will give you one more tip. Oftentimes, it's not always about creating new habits. It's about removing the poor habits of the past. So it's what you are doing that's holding you back. Sometimes that's more so that's actually helping you or creating a new habit. I'll do a separate podcast on that because I want to really break that down. I truly believe, and I've shared this before, that healing and also achieving goals into the future is oftentimes a subtractive process. For now, what I want to share with you is this. If you don't already have a 30-minute block in your day, ideally 2 30-minute blocks, but let's just start with one. If you don't have one 30-minute block in your day that's going to allow you to create a habit that will lead to the future that you desire, that's the place to start. Hopefully today's show was helpful. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for tuning into the Cabral Concept. Do feel free to share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my health results accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.